Robert O. Young, the author of the famous pH Miracle Diet, has claimed that baking soda could cure certain diseases like diabetes and cancer.
Now he finds himself in prison. My name's Paige, I'm a pharmacist.
My name's Zach, a physician, and let's talk about how this guy has found himself in prison for practicing medicine without a license and for theft. It started in 1995 when he drew blood from 2 women, ran some tests, and then sold them herbal treatments. He's charged with a felony back then for practicing medicine without a license.
He pled it down to a misdemeanor, but he didn't stop.
In 2001, he allegedly told a woman who had cancer to stop her chemo regimen and to try his alkaline protocol.
Then he gave an undercover agent a diagnosis from a drop of blood. He recommended a liquid diet, but the charges were dropped on that instance.
In 2014, he was running a treatment center out of a 48-acre ranch. Some patients paid thousands of dollars, upwards of $50,000 to $100,000 for these treatments that he claimed could cure their diseases.
He got arrested and was charged with 18 felony counts of practicing medicine without a license and theft.
And during this trial, he actually admitted that he had no real doctorate degree. He had no medical degree, no DO, no real naturopath degree either. He wasn't a microbiologist, a pharmacist, or anything.
In 2018, he was ordered to pay over $100 million to a cancer patient he had misled with his treatments.
And in 2025, he was finally found guilty and sentenced to 6 years in prison, with the judge actually calling him, quote, a charlatan. Let's start by getting into his claims and his credentials. In the 1970s, he attended the University of Utah on a tennis scholarship. However, he didn't even graduate with his bachelor's degree.
And he went to London on a mission trip. After that came the real credentialing magic. From Clayton College of Natural Health, he obtained a degree, but this is a non-accredited program.
He says he got a doctorate from that college in as little as 8 months. So he went from having, no bachelor's degree to a doctorate in 8 months. Pretty fast if you ask me.
But here's the catch. Clayton was labeled a diploma mill. It has no recognized accreditation, and therefore this 8-month doctorate degree has no validity.
In court in 2016, Young himself admitted that he wasn't a physician, he wasn't an MD, a DO, a microbiologist, or a hematologist, and wasn't accredited or licensed to do any of the things that he was doing.
So when he labeled himself Dr. Young, PhD, DSC, this was all an illusion.
Even Oprah in 2002 pushed his book, The pH Miracle Diet. However, at that time and currently, there's no evidence to back up this diet or his claims made in that book.
He had quite the lure. He had a fancy name, a fancy ranch, selling fancy books. The catch, he actually had no medical degrees, no degrees in anything, or science to back up these claims.
People left their chemo treatments to go seek treatment with this gentleman who, didn't have a real treatment to offer.
He was just out to make a buck.
But the truth did catch up to him when he pled guilty on the stand, confessing that he had no real credentials, no degrees, and no scientific backing.
Credentials matter. Always check accreditation. A title is not proof of expertise.